think about this. So I started my fitness journey, I think about 5 years ago now, looking back. Basically, what triggered it was I'd had children. I had 2 of them, and I was unhappy with my weight. I felt unfit. I wanted to know more about it. Like, obviously, as I was getting older, like, my body wasn't as, you know, resilient to food, junk food, I guess. And I remember sitting, this is going to be really confronting, but I remember sitting, or buying my first fitness magazine. It was Oxygen magazine at the time, and I remember having it there, sitting on the toilet, and I was just reading it, nice calm time, and I saw a girl on the cover. Her name was JJ Mitchell, and she had won like an A and B comp at the time, you know, bodybuilding fitness model, and she was stunning. And I was like, oh my gosh, her body was just incredible. I was like, I want to look like that. In fact, not only do I want to look like that, but I want to be on the cover. High hopes, because that's the kind of person I am. I think about something and I just want to take it to the extreme, which gets me in trouble a lot of the time, but also has its gains, I guess. But so yeah, I saw her on the cover, and immediately I thought that maybe you have to run to do that, to drop weight, because that's all I knew. That's the thing, like when you think about fitness and you think about like getting fit, you just think, oh, I'm gonna run, or I'm gonna cut carbs, or, you know, you kind of just read and just do what you see, even though it may not be right and someone's just put that in a magazine. But so basically I just did what I thought I knew, and I started running. And sorry, I have to go back. I'd only had 1 child at this stage. So I started running and I dropped a whole heap of weight. And then after that, I got pregnant and then gained the weight back because I had a 2nd child. And then I went straight back to, in that time, sorry, I have to kind of go back because I'm trying to remember. But in that time, I had my baby, and I decided to take the fitness thing further and study to be a PT and learn more about, I didn't do that because I was passionate about being a PT. I wanted to learn how to exercise and learn how to diet properly. So that's originally what sparked me to do the course. And I did that, and then that's when I fell pregnant. So I didn't do anything with my PT, but I had learned a little bit along the way. And then basically I went back to running after having my 2nd child. But that's when things kind of went wrong for me, because my pelvic floor, this is really real now, but a lot of mothers probably struggle with this as well. It's actually quite common, but my pelvic floor went on me, and any like jolting on the concrete or even running or sneezing or anything, I would wet myself. And it turns out that I had a prolapse bladder. So that really dampened my passion for running, as well as I just physically couldn't do it, which made me feel really discouraged and forced me to look in other directions about fitness and about losing weight. So that's when I came across the lifting world, which is the exciting part, because not only did my discouragement lead me into something else, but it has brought me to where I am now. So basically I stopped running and I joined the gym. And I just started bicep curling because that's all I knew. I just bicep curled all day, bicep curled, and I maybe did like a slow walk on the treadmill. But I don't know, I think it's my genetic makeup, but even the bicep curls gave me some nice looking arms. And people were like, are you doing a bodybuilding show? And I was like, no, I'm not, and I knew nothing about it, which then led me in to researching more about it. And that brings me to my first comp, when I hired a coach and I competed in fitness modeling. And I did, I think, about 5 shows. And from there, I'm probably ranting, but this is like the journey of where I came from. So it kind of started out with, you know, having kids, losing weight, couldn't run anymore, lifting weights, not knowing what I'm doing, studying PT, trying to find out what I'm doing, to now like YouTubing and looking up, you know, magazines and reading things and trying to educate myself on how to get fit and lift or diet. And so basically, you know, doing all of that, I was able to find a coach and compete, which then led me into such another whirlwind of problems, because I got like an eating disorder where I was dieting all the time and I was exercising not to be healthy, but to being able to reward myself with food because I had trained instead of eating to heal my body and to be healthy. It was like, well, you've trained now so you can eat. So it was this unhealthy thing that I had, and I had to keep competing because I was scared if I wasn't dieting that I would gain weight. And in fact, after comps, I was like this, up and then down and then up, and my weight just kept fluctuating, and I was unhappy, and my hormones were all over the place. And it was like, really, this went on for 2 years. So this was like a really rough time because I was a mother as well. I was like a stay-at-home mum, and I had 2 young children with like, you know, that had needs. And I really struggled. It came to a point where I stopped competing and I just allowed my body to heal, which was really hard because I did gain about 10 kilos. So I'm sitting at 52 kilos now, and I went up to 60 at this time. So you can imagine 60 kilos on my frame. I was like a mess. And yeah, so through that, I had a year off and got some health back and really sorted my head out with my eating, and talked to a few people and had some support of other people who had been through this at the time as well, and decided to let go of fitness modelling, which wasn't hard for me. I wasn't passionate about it, but I did it to, I guess, keep dieting because I was scared, because I didn't know how to eat on my own. As silly as that sounds, I didn't know what foods I should be having, because all I knew was chicken and broccoli, and I just couldn't do chicken and broccoli anymore. And just my hormones were all over the place, so I was just gaining weight. And I saw a doctor and I ended up having cysts on my ovaries, and my body was just in a mess. So basically, I got my body back to health, and then I hired a reputable coach who knew their stuff, who was all about getting my body back to health, and who put me on carbohydrates and eating a lot. And I was really careful of who I hired, because you've got to be careful who you get to look after your body, because it's your body and they might give you just a diet that's, you know, standard that everyone's doing. So you want to make sure that if you do decide to compete or hire a coach, that you are with someone that knows what they're talking about and has almost degrees in science with that. So that's something I learned throughout this process. And I got my health back, which took a year and a half, and I competed again. And I think that was my last show for the year. I got second, but I was happy with my physique because I did it healthily. I didn't cut carbs, I didn't do cardio, and I didn't feel like I was dieting. So that was really important to me than a silly trophy that was first. So I nailed that for the first time, competed with health. So that was really, really important to me. And then after this, shortly after that, I met my partner, who was a powerlifter and a gym owner, and he really struck an interest. He said, you know, you're pretty strong. How would you feel about, you know, doing some powerlift movements? And he started to teach me how to powerlift, and basically that's where I am now, and I never looked back because I feel empowered, and my diet's healthy, my body's healthy. I feel energized when I'm lifting and excited about, you know, not knowing what comes next and what day it will be for me, if it'll be a good day or a bad day. And yeah, so that's where I am now, and I'm still going and I'm still learning, because I think that's important, to be open to not knowing everything but learning more. I feel like if you become overconfident and a little bit arrogant, that it starts to dampen your progress and your success. So yeah, I just felt really humble through this whole process and really open to keep learning. So that's a bit of where I've come from, just a bit. Obviously there's a lot that I would love to share with you over this time of doing these videos, and I want you to get to know me better. But if I had to compact it like I just have, that's kind of the process to where I